So Amorim comes in, David, and he's coming in I think 10 days' time or something like that. And you obviously, through your experience as a manager, but obviously experience of going at United, what would be your sort of like tips that you would say, first couple of things that you would say to him, make sure you do this early on, things that maybe you look back upon and think, I wish I'd done that?
In this next clip, David Moyes will be asked a direct question by Gary Neville, and he will spend the next few minutes not answering it. But stick around after the clip because I will do the work for David and answer that question. Here's Dave.
Well, I've got to say he's in a completely different situation. I was really fortunate to take over the champions England at the time, so I was coming from a different, and also probably coming into a dressing room which I've already said is probably had they did great respect for Alex and what he'd done and all those things. I think at the moment the players might be looking now and saying, coming in, and they might be saying, hey, by the way, if we don't step up, the manager might be coming from a stronger position because these players are going to have to actually step up.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's not always calling the players out, but I see it a little bit where I think the players are quite happy to hide behind managers at the moment, let the managers take the hit for it. You know, when I could do with some of them coming out and saying, hey, by the way, I know I'm not quite at it at the moment, I'm not playing well enough just now. We're not getting much of that.
No.
And I actually think Manchester United have got really, really talented players. But I think the point you made, Jill, about, you know, probably work rate as well. I think, and that would be you think the first thing, you know, if any is went into any club, you say
Liverpool won last night. They asked the manager afterwards. He said, "Our work rate and our intensity." You're like, yeah, that's a good starting place. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Good words as well for the words that you would want the players to hear. So, I think that getting into Manchester United, the situation you're in is, I think that they can only improve at the moment. I think and because they'll improve, I think we will see an improvement on some of the performance.
I think him coming in at this stage as well, when they said, listen, you come now or it's off the table. Yeah. I think that was brilliant from them the first time I've seen them actually do something with such intent. Now, you come now and get it sorted, because no one's expecting anything from United this season. No one's expecting anything. So for him to have them from now to the end of the season, instead of waiting till the end of the season like he said he wanted to, and then get to the summer, then start bringing people in, I think that he can see exactly what he's got on a day-to-day basis.
And also, Righty, they're talking about you changing system, obviously, the 10 games into the season, but maybe it's a good time for him to come and go, if that's the road he's going to go down, I'm going with a back three, and we're going to do it from now on, because we can't be any worse.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try this, and I'll find out the lads who are up for it, who can maybe surprise me and do better than what I thought, and do this, not writing the season off, but going, listen, the way things are going is really bad. And go straight into it. Go straight into your system and go, yeah, we're at Ipswich. You'll have a few days with him before that and go, this is the way we're playing. And if that's his philosophy, that's the way he wants to play, get straight into it.
Are you excited about the fact that he's coming, especially to see what they done to City last night? Do you know what he's capable of doing? You must be excited about it.
I think you're always optimistic, aren't you, about a new manager coming in? I think that I think I can see why he maybe wanted the job next summer, because he would have had a pre-season to implement a brand new system. Because, I mean, those players have not played three at the back at all for probably, well, some of them might never have played it, but
they're not doing great with four at the back.
I think
that's
the suited. I think
the suited to.
I think the suited.
And you get the benefit out. So if he's not winning, people will be going, oh, well, he's working things out. If he hits the ground like Slot, you get a couple of good wins. People go, hey, listen, he doesn't need time.
I don't think there's any two centre-backs at United that can play in a two, or full-backs that can play in a four, to be honest with you. I've thought...
So it might be perfect timing for him.
But just asking you the question, David, you've been taking jobs in pre-season where you've got a full pre-season to work with players, and you've taken jobs maybe partway through a season. How challenging will it be for him to get with games? Because they are obviously got a lot of games coming up with United. It's Christmas as well. You know, how difficult will he find it to implement that 3-4-3 quite quickly? Well, more challenging than pre-season.
I think the players are more flexible nowadays. So I think the players from our days where maybe it might have taken a bit of time, you said we're going to have to work in the training ground. I think the players are now used to it. I actually think is what you're saying is right. I think United have got enough central defenders, people who look maybe more like wing backs. And I hear there's a little bit of talk about, well, what's going to happen to the wingers? Well, if it's 3-4-3, they play a little bit like inside forwards. They might have other roles. So I think the adaptation for Man United, I don't think it'll take too long. It might take a while for it to get him the way he wants it. But I think Man United will be fine. I think they'll change. If he goes that way, maybe he'll come in and say, hey, no, I'm going to have to look at this for a few weeks before I do anything.
Watching Sporting, though, there was quite a lot of turnovers against City in that first half. I did think that, and I think that is something that they're going to have to deal with. But then going into the second half, the way they went forward, like he seems to be a motivator. Like his half-time team talk, I've never seen a game change so quickly. I think we said before it was 20 seconds to the first goal, then another 20 seconds to the next. So
we were talking about a City side with no Rodri playing a lot slower. You know, it feels slow. City. You can see this is why probably it's affecting Foden and Haaland, because everything's so slow.
Yeah.
But it must be a
first
boost.
half they played well.
Whatever beat Man City 4-1 will be a boost for him.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
A boost for anyone's
Absolutely. Give
confidence.
them great confidence.
Yeah.
Doesn't guarantee you they're going to beat Man City.
But what is a realistic expectation for Man United this season? What's realistic?
Just try and get into the top 5.
I said
I would
to
imagine.
stay up.
So, the tips for Amorim. I think it's very simple at the moment for Ruben Amorim. He's coming into a dire situation, so the only way is up for him. He just needs to stick to what he knows best, and that is 3-4-3 and motivate those players. And he needs to drop Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford should have been dropped 18 months ago. He just doesn't care. It would send a message to the rest of the squad, and you need a more creative player in the front three than what Marcus Rashford actually is. That's all Ruben Amorim needs to do. And David Moyes is right in the clip when he talks about that Ruben Amorim is coming into a different situation than what he did. Because, yeah, he's quite right. So he's not sort of deluded enough not to understand that, because David Moyes walked into the Premier League champions. Ruben Amorim is walking to a team that finished, what did we finish last season? 7th? 8th? Do you know what? I can't even remember. I think I've blocked it from my memory. So, the only way is up for Ruben Amorim. Address the left-back position, drop Marcus Rashford, and motivate those players to do well. That's it, really. It's not rocket science, it's football. It's 22 men running around a field with a ball, trying to put their balls in the nets. That's it. But what do you guys think? What are the tips Ruben Amorim needs to abide by in order to take Manchester United not just a few places up the table, but all the way to the top? He's already proven that he can beat Pep Guardiola. He did that the other night with a weakened squad. But can he do it with Manchester United and a team of prima donnas? We will find out. Comments in the comment section.